So this week we get the fun experience of urban camping. I'm literally in a city surrounded by buildings. Ooh, frightening. I've been told there's a bus station with transients kind of right next to me. The police are really cool in this town. They're like, yeah, just park anywhere overnight that doesn't have a 2-hour only parking sign. But actually, I'm at a conference at a church, and the church said, oh, you can park in this lot, you can park in that lot. He said, park in the other lot. There's a security guard there that's 24/7, and usually there's some cops that hang out at the bottom of the parking lot. He's like, yeah, go over there. Sounds safe to me. So, I'm urban camping in Spartanburg, South Carolina for a writers' conference. It's going to be kind of fun, so we'll see what this weekend holds. All right, we have landed at the First Baptist Church in Spartanburg, where there is a writers' conference. There's the van back behind me. Right now, that tree, I think, is obstructing my internet. So I'm going to be moving the van. I have some Amazon parts coming in a little bit later. We'll go down and pick those up, and then move the van somewhere better. Hopefully get internet tonight. But anyway, we're going to head on into the conference.
Material to an editor or an agent. Most people don't because they go home, life gets busy.
I said it definitely busy. I said, but guess what? As long as they know it.
All right, so I just went over and chatted to the security over here at the church we're at, and they're like, yeah, just park anywhere around here. He told me the best spots to be because they actually have 24-hour security out here, and he said, park up here close to this, and I can stay until Sunday morning, and it's Friday today, so I have a good spot to park for the whole conference, and then one day afterwards, so I'll attend the church down here, and it'll be kind of fun. Well, our writers' conference is over. It was a grand old time. Just a couple photos that I took from that here. But now we're camping out until tomorrow morning. As I said, the church gave me permission to park in their lot until the Sunday morning service. And then I'm going to do that and then start heading north. Changing my plans a little bit. I was going to go towards Smoky Mountains, but it's still really cold and things like that. The other fun factor is an unusual cold snap is coming through, and Spartanburg is going to be sub 20 degrees tonight. So yeah, we will be running the heater. I'm running it now. I'll probably run it now for a little bit, turn it off, see what temperature it is outside, and then I will be running the furnace all night tonight because it is going to be cold. I'm also going to rig something up to get some air circulation around the battery. One of the problems is when it gets this cold, the battery could get too cold. And remember, you cannot charge a lithium battery that is sub-zero. Some batteries have heaters built in that you can actually still charge them. I do not have that. It's not usually a problem, but I'm just going to monitor that, and depending on what the temperature is when I go to bed tonight, I will probably turn off my power to the solar panels tonight. That way, in case the battery gets below freezing, the solar panels will not damage it. So we'll see what ends up happening with that, but it'll be kind of fun. But in the meantime, I'm going to jump on the computer. I have a friend that needs some things looked at, and then I'm going to cook up some dinner and kind of spend my evening with some movies, some relaxing, and thinking about all the different fun things I can do from the conference that we had. Well, I made it through the 20-degree cold snap here in South Carolina. And I wanted to show you guys another tiny problem I have been having, and that is when it gets that cold with this draftiness, the batteries sometimes get really cold. We're talking down to about 4 degrees. And so that's getting really close to zero. So what I did is, usually when it gets that cold, is I take out this guy, which is the usual divider down here, because it prevents it, like, it has some holes for airflow, but it's not super good. So then I put the gate here, and that usually keeps it warm enough even in the cold weather. But I tried something different today, and that is I rigged up this fan. So this is just a basic computer fan, and this came with an adapter. Let's see if I can actually get the adapter on camera here. So this guy here was actually an adapter that went to an old school large inch power supply line. So I cut that thing off because it was useless. I added our male to female connectors, and then I simply put it onto a just a standard 12 volt connection, and then just used twist ties and twist tied it to this, pushed in the airflow. So typically when it's 20 degrees outside, the batteries would still get down to 4 even with this gate here. But I tested this out, and you can see now my battery temp is 9. So simply adding that little fan did a tremendous amount of help in making sure that the battery compartment stayed warm enough. Obviously, as precaution, because I wasn't sure what exactly I would do, I did turn off the power to the solar panels. So in the event the batteries fell down to freezing, I wouldn't have damaged anything. But seeing how well that worked, I'm going to do that again in the future if it gets this cold, and then we're all set up. So anyway, we survived the cold. We used about a quarter tank of fuel in the tank there, and my heater kept it around 24°C in here, which is a really good temp. So just some things to keep in mind when it gets that cold outside. Just make sure things are good. Oh, let me comment one more thing here too. So I actually pull this guy out as well and kind of angle it in with my footstool, which prevents draft coming in from the lower portions. So this goes a long way toward helping, or where's it at? This guy here does a long way towards helping that as well. So anyway, when it's super cold outside, that's what I do to make sure the battery compartment stays nice and toasty.
Once the conference is over, we start heading north. I'm going to head up through the bottom of North Carolina, shoot on up, and I'm heading up to Roanoke, where I have a friend's house where I can stay for a while. Until then, I do have some work that needs done, so I'm going to need to find a few spots to stop and work, and it might mean a small shift in how I'm doing van life. Whereas in the past I have been finding a good BLM land, I can stop, camp for a few days at a time, really not go anywhere, get a lot of work done, and then head into town, resupply, and find another spot. Unfortunately, in the east, there's not quite as many places, so I have to find smaller spots to work for a few hours and then move on somewhere else. Well, I had a look at my maps, and I have offline maps. I looked at some Google Maps. I looked at some OpenStreetMaps. I look at a variety of different sources to figure out the best places and directions to go. And so from here, I found the little city park in the middle of a small town just off the interstate. So we're going to go check that place out.
Well, as we van life in the East Coast, I have to figure out a new way of doing van life. What we're actually doing now is I stayed at a rest stop last night. I drove 15 minutes into town, and there's a really nice little city park in here. I think officially on the map it's called Martin Luther King Jr. Park. I think the locals call it Lakeview Park or Lakeshore Park, something like that. And there's a little lake in the middle of the place. It is a beautiful little spot. It has these walking paths over here. There's pavilions, restrooms. There is an open air amphitheater. It's a lot of neat little places down here. But this is in Statesville, North Carolina. So tomorrow I'm moving out to a friend's up in Roanoke, which I could get there today. But, he's busy because, some people have them 9 to 5 things. But I'm actually just going to hang out in the city park here for about half the day. And then I'm going to go in mad pursuit of a donut shop, coffee shop, shrimp shop, beans, never mind, some other place, and we'll kind of enjoy getting some work done, and then I'm going to stay at another rest stop that's probably about 15 miles north of town. So I'm literally going to spend my whole day in this little city. I'm going to explore it, see what's here, and get a lot of work done because it is kind of a work day for me too. But I hope you enjoy the park. know, sometimes the fun part about van life is just getting a chance to see new places like this. You know, I try and go for a couple hours of walks during the day, and so just kind of stopping and walking in the woods a little bit, hang out on a bridge between a river. There's actually, over by the interstate there's a little pavilion down there too, which goes out over the water. It's kind of nice. But this is going to be a good spot to just turn on the computer, watch some things, cook up some breakfast, and continue on with my day.
As I recall, I could not find a donut shop in town, tragically. I ended up working in the park a little bit later than I thought I would, and just jumping back on the interstate and then driving further than I thought I would. I got pretty much about maybe an hour-ish outside of Roanoke and stopped at a rest stop there at the very northern tip of North Carolina. I took an overnight from there before heading on into Roanoke in the morning. Roanoke, sometimes called the Star City for the giant star that was erected on top of the mountain, still lit up at night, and it's a nice little place to go up and walk and hike. Sadly, I did lose some of my footage from the Roanoke area. Particularly, we took a wonderful trip out to Thomas Jefferson's Poplar Forest. I did a lot of really good photography, but it was right at the point in time I was buying a new phone, and a configuration system got messed up, causing me to have to wipe the phone out. Sadly, I lost all of my Thomas Jefferson footage in the process, so we won't be doing any videos from there, but the next videos we'll be doing is the national park that is there north of Roanoke in Virginia. So stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you've enjoyed this particular video and the little tour and some stealth camping urban tips, I guess. Is it really stealth if they know where I am? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. Hit that notification bell. Share the video far and wide, and we will see you a little bit further down the road.